If you are joining us for the first time, and I know we have some new visitors with us today, we actually have a Mingle Minute tradition here at Rooster Booster. We always plant among the crowd a secret shaker, and this morning's secret shaker from First Security Bank and Leadership Owensboro, my good buddy Chris Arnold. So Chris, who did you shake hands with this morning we're going to recognize? All right, come on over. We have something very special for you this morning. We have a $50 gift card to Nona's Downtown Market for you. How does that sound? Give her a round of applause. At this time, we would like to say good morning to all the folks who are listening to us out there in Radio Land, WOMI Owensboro, 99.1 FM and 1490 AM. And at this time, we're going to recognize our new chamber members for January 2016. Bryant Goldbach is a small business entrepreneur, came from humble beginnings working on clocks with his grandfather, William Paxton Goldbach, at the age of 12. He attended the American Watchmakers Institute in 2014, and on July 1st, 2015, he opened his own business here in Owensboro where he repairs watches, clocks, and jewelry. So please welcome Bryant Goldbach from Goldbach's Watch and Jewelry Repair. Once Upon a Child is a great opportunity for families to find great brand name clothing in good condition for a fraction of the retail price. It is also a great opportunity for families to sell their equipment, toys, and clothing that their children have outgrown. They get cash on the spot for items that they can accept. So please welcome Catherine Coakley from Once Upon a Child. Owensboro Civitan Club, a division of Civitan International, is a volunteer service club dedicated to helping people in Owensboro and the surrounding communities. It was established in 2003 with 12 members and now has 126. Owensboro Civitan Club puts a special emphasis on helping people with developmental disabilities through donations to local organizations like Wendell Foster Center, Arc of Owensboro, St. Benedict's, and many more. Owensboro Civitan Club offers community involvement, personal development, and leadership opportunities to its members. And their motto is turning volunteers into heroes. So please welcome James Roberts and John Armstrong from the Owensboro Civitan Club. Founded in Switzerland in 1874, Schindler is a leading global provider of elevators, escalators, and moving walks. They operate in 5 continents and over 100 countries. Schindler manufactures, installs, services, and modernizes transport systems for almost every type of building worldwide. Yesterday, they carried 1 billion people, vertically, diagonally, and horizontally, and they will do it again today. So please welcome Kathleen Walke and District Manager Brett McKay from Schindler Elevator Corporation. And Vector Engineers, a dedicated group of licensed geotechnical experts with a focus on site development, from conceptual planning to final construction. Since 2000, Vector services have included soils and materials testing, foundation design, and construction management for projects large and small. Vector has provided sound advice on some great projects right here in Owensboro, including the Owensboro Riverfront, Brescia University, Glenmore Distillery, and the building we're sitting in this morning, the Owensboro Convention Center. So please welcome Jonathan Welker, Owensboro Office Manager, and Company President Wayne Karam from Vector Engineers. We'd like to take some time this morning to recognize elected officials who are with us. We think we have y'all. Of course, Mayor Ron Payne is here with us this morning. Daviess County Judge-Exec Al Mattingly. You're going to hear from them a little bit later on. Mayor Pro Tem Jeff Sanford, City Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright, City Commissioner Bob Glenn, City Commissioner Debbie Nunley. You already heard from County Commissioner Charlie Castle this morning. County Commissioner Mike Koger's with us. County Commissioner George Wathen, Circuit Court Clerk Susan Tierney, Sheriff Keith Kane, County Attorney Claude Porter, Circuit Judge Jay Wethington, and Chief Justice Minton, all with us this morning, so give those folks a handy round of applause. And it's time to recognize our Ambassador of the Month. And this month's ambassador is Allison Kimberlin from ServPro of Daviess County. Give her a huge round of applause. Keep it going as she walks through the sea of 600 people. We're hooking you up with a $50 gift card to Peacocks and Pearls. Congratulations. At this time, we're going to have a chamber update kickstarting 2016, and to present that, our president, CEO, of course, Candace Brake.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Mark. We're going to abbreviate this today, but before I start our chamber happenings and the update, I want to introduce a couple of groups that are here with us today. First of all, you know the chamber's involved in a lot of the talent programs now with our young professionals, our Leadership Owensboro, and the Wendell Ford Government Education Center. And we have a couple of those groups with us here today. And I want to recognize first the Ford Scholars from the Wendell Ford Government and Education Center that Clay and Diane and Commissioner Bruce Coonsey have brought here today. Would you all please stand up for us? These young people are interested in public service and help leading this community. They come from all of our area high schools, a great group of kids. And we also have our Leadership Owensboro class, if you all would stand up. Welcome today, and thank you guys for your continued interest in serving Owensboro. It's a great day. Okay, at your seats, we have the new Chamber magazine. So make sure you take a look at it. It's one of the most heavily circulated magazines that the community has. It's what people get when they're relocating to the community. We have lots of businesses that use it for recruitment, so we have plenty at the Chamber. Give us a call if you need them. They're in hotel rooms across the area too for visitors, business people, what have you. So take a look at it, and feel free to take the one at your place. Okay, on to what's going on at the Chamber. Next Friday, January the 15th, is our annual Chamber celebration. And we've got amazing program planned. It's going to be a fun evening starting at 6 o'clock. We're going to have a reception, and we'll have a program where we present our Business of the Year awards. And then we'll have a band, a great band that's coming this year, and then dancing and just a fun night to enjoy each other and ring in our new year as the Chamber of Commerce as we say goodbye to Mark Martin and hello to Adam Hancock. So please come. We have opportunities for you to be here. You should get your invitations today, but give us a call and we'll get you reserved. I'm going to first just recognize all the sponsors, though, that made that possible. First of all, our presenting sponsor, Owensboro Health. And if you guys are here, you can stand up when I say your name. That would be great. The Business of the Year award sponsor is U.S. Bank Home Mortgage. Our reception sponsor is Atmos Energy. The entertainment sponsors are Envision Contractors, LLC, Gulfstream Commercial Services, and Westerfield Electric. Platinum sponsors are Independence Bank, the City of Owensboro, Western Kentucky University. The award sponsors are Daviess County Fiscal Court, E.M. Ford, and the invitation and program event sponsor for the print is Greenville Chisholm. Our gold sponsors, Old National Bank, Owensboro Community and Technical College, Hart's Contracting, On Time Fab, UniFirst, Don Moore Automotive, Big Rivers Electric, Boardwalk Pipelines, Swedish Match North America, Kenergy, Toyo Tetsu Mid-America, the Messenger Inquirer, Kentucky Wesleyan College, First Security Bank, and the silver sponsors are Ronnie Hancock CPAs, the Hampton Inn and Suites Downtown, Republic Bank, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Alpha Tech Solutions, the Owensboro Riverport Authority, and the bronze sponsors are Brushy University and Ashley Furniture Home Store. We want to thank all of our sponsors, and we look forward to seeing everybody next Friday night. It's going to be a great night. All right. Good. Everybody who's clapping will come next Friday night, right? 2016 Athena Award Program is coming up too on February the 24th. Tickets are $50 each. Contact Tish Cray Osborne. She has sponsorships still available. We'll have a speaker announced probably within the next 2 days. We're confirming a schedule for a really good speaker that's really focused on Girls Inc.'s message of being strong, smart, and bold. So please put that on your calendar. Our first legislative forum will be on Saturday, January the 30th, and that's what the Chamber does to help the members connect with our legislative leaders. This is going to be a really important session. This particular forum will be the week after the governor presents his budget, so we hope to have a great crowd to talk to our legislators about your concerns and things that may impact what's going on in the community. It's just one of the things we do to help you connect with our legislators and our state government. That's 8 to 9 at Owensboro, or Old National Bank Conference Room. That's on the 3rd floor of the Chamber. And West Kentucky Thank You Night, along that line, we have 26 chambers that come together to go to Frankfort and host a thank you night for our legislators, for the governor, for the executive branch, to let them know what's going on here and what's important to us. Elected officials, we'd love to have you. Members, the more the merrier. We need to have a big voice there. Owensboro needs to lead the way in having the most people there. So contact me if you have any questions. It's from 5 to 7 Eastern in Frankfort at the Convention Center on February the 11th. It should be a good night. And Leadership Owensboro, I think you're going to go up to as part of your of the State Government Day. January ribbon cuttings, January 13th at 12:15, the Owensboro Civitan Club. January 22nd at 12:15, Tropical Glamour. And we want to thank John Conti for always being a great partner for us. You have great coffee, and you're just a great corporate sponsor, so we appreciate you very much. Lastly, before I sit down, I just want to pay a special thanks to Mark Martin. He's been here. This is his last Rooster Booster. So, Mark, it's great. It's been a great year, and I really have had fun working with you and appreciate your leadership. It's been a blast. So, thank you.
Usually at Rooster Booster, we have one featured speaker. Today, we have two, and to introduce them, Mark Martin.
Thanks, Chad, and thanks, Candace, and I hope this isn't my last Rooster Booster, just my last Rooster Booster up here. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope all of you had a happy and healthy holiday season. Our first guest speaker this morning is Mayor Ron Payne. Mayor Payne retired as an assistant professor of accounting at Brescia University in March of 2008. Previously, he served as an Owensboro City Commissioner from 2005 through 2007. He has also held positions of city manager, the city's chief administrative officer from 1997 until his retirement in 2003, and director of finance and administration from 1993 until 1997. Previously, Payne served 14 years with the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma as a controller, a deputy city auditor, and eventually as director of finance. He was Owensboro's city auditor from 1975 to 1979. Payne is a certified public accountant and holds a Bachelor's of Science in Accounting from Brescia University and a Master's of Science in Accounting from the University of Tulsa. He is a veteran of the U.S. Navy and served in Vietnam. Please give a warm Rooster Booster welcome to Mayor Ron Payne.
I leaned over and made a comment to Adam, and I always say this when people introduce me and they read all that all that does is tell you this guy's old. Adam said, I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it. Good morning. And I want to thank the Chamber for giving us this time to present this address on the state of the city. But before I do that, we've had a lot of introductions, but I've got to introduce the most important person to me, First Lady of Owensboro, my friend and my sunshine for going on 45 years, Denise. I can think of no greater time in our history to live in this beautiful city. This is a period of unmatched economic growth, business expansion, cultural awakening, and quality of life enhancements for our community. It has been my privilege to lead a great team during this unprecedented renaissance of our city. Let me introduce our current leadership team. First, Mayor Pro Tem Jeff Sanford and Commissioners Bob Glenn, Pam Smith-Wright, Debbie Nunley. I also want to thank our former commissioners that I've had the pleasure to serve with. First is John Keslauskas. I know John's in the audience. Of course, Candace Brake, who was the previous city commissioner, David Johnson, Roger Stacy, and Charlie Castling, all who have been involved with this great transformation of our city. We have been supported in our work by a truly, and I mean this, truly exceptional city staff. Our city manager, Bill Parrish, Assistant City Manager and City Attorney Ed Ray, Public Works Director Wayne Shelton, our Finance and Support Services Director Angela Hamrick, Community Development Director Abby Shelton, Police Chief Art Elam, Recreation Director Amanda Rogers, and our Fire Chief Steve Mitchell. Would y'all please give them a great round of applause? Like many of you, I watched the movie It's a Wonderful Life over the holidays. It made me think about those community meetings years ago. It made me wonder what the state of the city address would be like if you or our citizens and business leaders had not attended those public forums where hundreds of people made a decision about our city's future. In a moment worthy of Frank Capra himself, our community came together, and a majority of people said, we've had enough downtown studies and plans. It's time to do something. If that moment had not come, I believe today's State of the City address would be a lot different. Let's take a few minutes and look back at how far we've come. I'm glad you applauded, because I was going to ask all of you in this room to give yourselves a round of applause, because we would not have been able to do all of that without your help and your support. And I want to thank you, and future generations will thank you for that. These achievements are even more remarkable because they took place during the Great Recession. Today, our unemployment rate is the lowest in 16 years, outperforming the state and the nation. During the period of the Great Recession, our leadership continued to bring jobs to Owensboro and grow our economy. When companies have a choice of where to grow, Owensboro is increasingly the destination of choice. The proof is in the numbers and in the gross domestic product, where our growth has led the state. None of this has happened by accident. It's part of the plan we created and continue to follow. We enjoyed another exceptional year in convention and visitors business. Outside dollars are coming into this community to spur our local economy. Visitors to our city have generated record new hotel taxes for 22 consecutive months, providing our Convention and Visitors Bureau with an infusion of money to further promote and market our community. The Kentucky League of Cities held their annual conference here in September. It was the largest conference in the past 20 years for them, all because people wanted to come to Owensboro. That's right, they all wanted to come here to see the Renaissance for themselves because of our work to revitalize downtown and the riverfront, including the results of the commitment we've made to the arts, and we continue to make to the arts. All of you have heard visitors praise and often envy what our community has done. What a great place to live. But it's not enough to recognize where we've been and where we are now. The important question becomes, where are we going in the future? 2016 promises to be yet another year for economic expansion and quality of life initiatives for our community. Expansion of the Greenbelt, a new dog park. Steve Caslin, I saw you. It's coming. We're going to get it done. And the opening of major national retail stores and businesses throughout our community confirm the faith that private enterprise has in Owensboro's economy and workforce. As our current downtown economic engine continues to create new jobs and improve the quality of life, the city will begin work on 2 mega projects that will further grow our economy for years to come. The first mega project is the downtown TIF, or Tax Increment Financing Project, the expanded downtown district that will encompass the entire riverfront from the River Park Center to English Park and south to Brescia University. The downtown TIF includes 11 major projects: the International Bluegrass Music Center, mixed-use projects on 2nd Street, an update of the River Park Center, 2 new buildings on the Brescia campus, further riverbank stabilization, a lengthened river walk to English Park, a new parking garage, plus other parking and road improvements and downtown utility work to enhance it all. This single TIF will generate more than 1 million square feet of mixed-use construction, including a hotel, residential and civic space. It will create 1,600 construction jobs and sustain 580 jobs annually. The downtown TIF will create over $80 million in new taxes and have an estimated regional impact of $1.2 billion. Yes, billions of dollars during the TIF's life. We expect preliminary approval from the state on this mega project later this month. The second mega project that we will advance is the Highway 54 TIF, Gateway Commons, will be an 835,000 square foot retail, restaurant, office, residential, and entertainment complex. The project will create 2,000 construction jobs, 2,000 sustainable jobs, 160 million in new taxes, and have an economic impact of more than 3.2 billion. That's billion with a B. We have received preliminary approval from the state, and this project has already broken ground. We've talked about downtown's growth and future growth, as well as Highway 54. But 2016 will see the very center of Owensboro receive a well-deserved makeover with the commencement of the Triplet Twist project. The neighborhood revitalization strategy area includes an investment of more than $4.7 million in public and private funds over the next 4 years through commercial and residential upgrades, with an area extending from 9th Street to 24th Street and from Breckenridge to Triplet, including portions of J.R. Miller Boulevard. It is the largest project we've undertaken to date. And our stormwater project master plan will continue to alleviate flooding throughout the city. Now I want to turn to two major economic enhancement projects that this community must continue to pursue. Studies show that cities with an interstate connection greatly improve their economic development opportunities. The I-65 spur linking Owensboro to Bowling Green via the Natcher Parkway, and the I-69 spur linking Owensboro to Henderson via the Audubon Parkway will bring those opportunities to Owensboro. You can help make this happen. I'm asking for your help. Talk to a legislator. Make contact with your state government and the Kentucky Chamber. Remind them of the importance of these projects to our future. As we close today, I want to recognize Owensboro's new professional basketball team, the Kentucky Mavericks. I'm going to be at the season opener on the 9th to support this great team, and I hope to see all of you there. Welcome to Coach Tucker and your team. I believe some of them are here today. Stand up. Welcome. While we have done and are still doing great things to grow our community, we must not forget the needs of our future. The most important among us are children. Today, I am declaring 2016 as the year of the child, where we will work with groups like CASA to identify the needs of the neglected children and strategies to meet those needs. We will be talking more about this in the months to come. As we look at the state of the city of Owensboro, I find a city that has overcome its problems, a city that has progressed economically, culturally, and in quality of life. This is truly a world-class, excuse me. Hello? Kurt? I'm giving the State of the City address. I thought that phone had been disconnected. Well, okay, I think I can bring it up on the screen. Leslie?
Live on the Tri-States News and Weather Leader, this is 14 News.
Breaking news here in the Tri-State, WFIE is growing in western Kentucky.
Owensboro is hosting its Rooster Booster meeting this morning, but just upriver are Randy Moore and Jackie Monroe. Let's go there live now.
That's right, Aaron. We are live right now in spectacular Owensboro, where city leaders have gathered for the State of the City address.
And the state of this city is about to light up. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, everybody.
We have a very important announcement. 14 News is getting ready to open a second studio right here in Smothers Park in downtown Owensboro.
Good morning. And ladies and gentlemen, meet Beth Sweeney, and one of your own, Owensboro native Brandon Bartley.
Thank you so much for having us. As a Kentucky woman born and raised, I understand the importance of recognizing this city and this region.
And Beth, this city is ready for that recognition.
Mr. Mayor?
I believe we got a video.
Kentucky, and that's exactly what we are going to do. 14 News is leasing the historic Bell House right next to the River Park Center.
Coming soon, we'll make history by adding signage you'll see clearly as you cross the Blue Bridge into Kentucky. Along with a spectacular fountain and an award-winning playground, the 14 News Owensboro studio will be yet another tourist destination along the Ohio. A large window will allow visitors to watch news as it's being made. Our reporters will do live shots on the home's front lawn and across the entire park. Events will unfold right in front of our cameras. But that's not all. A huge screen TV will display 14 News live every day, and WFIE's NBC programming nonstop. We'll be here all 4 seasons. How exciting is this?
Wow.
We're so excited
Great.
about what is to come for 14 WFIE and Owensboro.
How about that, Mr. Mayor?
That is awesome. Welcome. It's my understanding we got the general manager here, WFIE. Jay, you want to come on up, make a comment or two? Jay Hyatt, general manager.
Thank you so much. Wow, we are extremely excited to be here and to open our brand new studio where you're going to see we're going to do a lot of big things right here in this community, not only in Owensboro, but in Western Kentucky. And I got to tell you, we are so happy to be part of a progressive city as Owensboro, Kentucky. And a round of applause again for you guys. What a great job you guys are doing. You know, I got to tell you, I want to thank Mayor Payne. We've had discussions about this, and I'm very happy that we got to pull this together. Ed Ray, the city officials of Owensboro, we have a lot of people to thank, and thank you so very much for all of this. I'd like to acknowledge just a couple of folks with us. Obviously, you met the team. Appreciate you guys waking up early. Some of you guys get up early anyway. But we've got our leader from Charlotte, North Carolina here with Raycom, which is our parent company, Mr. Nick Simonette. Mr. Simonette, thanks for coming today. We have Western Kentucky reporter Jonathan McKinder, who you guys some of you guys may know. He's already over here, so he'll have some new friends coming over here with him. We also have with us today our news director, Joe Slarth, who put a lot of this together. Joe, welcome. Joe's from Buffalo, New York, and he's very impressed with Owensboro. Also, a couple of folks from inside the building, Brooke Arnold and Robbie Godegi, part of our sales management team. Laura Rowden's a sales rep for us, and Chief Engineer Bobby Burnett. So I really appreciate you guys coming today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are excited about this.
Great. And to all of you out there, you business leaders, let's do everything we can to support them and their presence here in the city of Owensboro. You know, the news, it just gets better. Literally, the news, it just gets better. But we have got a lot on our plate. We've got a lot of things coming up in 2016. It's going to be an exciting year. So Happy New Year to all of you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this presentation, Candace.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next speaker asked me to cut his bio short out of respect for your time, but out of respect for him, I'm not going to do that. Our second speaker this morning is Judge Executive Al Mattingly. Judge Mattingly was first elected as the Daviess County Judge Executive in 2010 and re-elected in 2014. Prior to holding this office, Judge Mattingly was an Owensboro City Commission elected official. He is an active member of various civic and professional organizations and gladly serves his church, Our Lady of Lourdes. A graduate of Owensboro Catholic High School, he earned his bachelor's degree in biology from Brescia College in 1969. He also proudly served in the United States Army from 1969 until 1972. Please give a warm Rooster Booster welcome to Judge Al Mattingly.
Morning. All those wonderful announcements truly left me speechless. Let's give the city leadership and all their staff another round of applause. They're great. Judy, I hope I have my glasses. You know, when I walked in this morning, you think of the Chamber of Commerce as a bunch of old people like Waitman, Kirk, and the first folks I saw were those 50-some-odd young people from the Wendell Ford Center of Government. And it's wonderful to have you guys here with us this morning. They've taken the food away. I was going to ask them to prepare me a sack lunch so my hike back to the truck, I could stop and enjoy it. I want to thank everyone for being here this morning to hear the state of the county and city. This will be the 6th time that I've shared some of my thoughts with you about Daviess County. And my goal this morning is to not create a glazed look on your face as I've observed in the past. Let's start by introducing some of the members of the fiscal court and other county elected officials. If you would, please stand when I call your name. Commissioner George Wathen from the West, George. Central County Commissioner Charlie Caslin, and East County Commissioner Mike Coger. Mike, the commissioners assist me in governing the county by acting as liaison to various departments and agencies. Their counsel is invaluable to the efforts that we make in making sure the trains run on time in the county. Other county officials, and please stand. Claude Porter, County Attorney. Claude, where are you? You know, this is the first year I think I've not forgotten to announce you. Keith Kane, our Sheriff. David Osborne, our jailer, couldn't be here this morning. Susan Tierney, Circuit Court Clerk. Susan, I know that you're here. Oz Osborne, the Daviess County Clerk, couldn't be here today. Oz's father passed away, and they will be burying him today. But the Deputy Clerk, Richard House, is here. Richard, stand up. Rachel Foster, the PVA, and Jeff Jones, our coroner. I'd also like to recognize former Judge Reed Hare. Reed, thank you for being here. Commissioner Bruce Coonsey, and any of the other county elected officials that have served us in the past. If you're here, thank you for your service. You know, if you've not been to a place where all the county elected officials don't get along with each other, I can tell you it's not a pretty sight. The commissioners and I, we go to state conferences throughout the Commonwealth, and we hear horror stories day in and day out. And it's refreshing to have such a wonderful group of elected officials working for you here in Daviess County. So please give them all a round of applause. I'm going to ask my staff to stand. Stand up, guys. Come on, all county staff. These folks make it happen every day, and they have to put up with me when they're doing it. Thank you, guys. This year, I want to especially recognize Marcia Hardesty. Marcia served the county well in her 43 years, and she's getting ready to retire. While she's not here, I want to say a big shout out. Thanks, Marcy. Last but certainly not least is the First Lady of the county, my wife of 44 years, Judy. Where you at, Judy? Stand up. Stand up. I know many of you wonder how in the world have we managed to stay together for this long? That's on your part. On my part, you know, it's the little things. She still laughs at my jokes. No matter how many times she's heard them, she laughs. No matter how corny, she laughs. And I can tell you when I come home and I am in a state of upset because one of these commissioners have made me mad. None of you citizens and voters ever make me mad. When she touches me, I calmed down immediately. Without her support, I wouldn't be able to be here today. And my son, Will, is over there as well. Will, stand up. Our proud one and only who's moved back to Owensboro. Now, if you look at Will, and if you look at me, you will be able to see why we stay together so long. She dresses both of us. But I have to admit, Judy, I was sitting up here, looked down, and I think I have brown socks on with this gray suit. The state of the county is good. We have money in the bank. We pay our bills on time. You've heard me say that now for 6 years in a row. In the past, I've talked about all the things that we've done in our community and all the things that we're going to do, to the point that my lovely wife would say, be careful, you're going to break your arm patting yourself on the back. And sometimes I think she was right. Not that I would break my arm, but that I would forget all of the things accomplished over the last 5 years were not of my doing. They're the results of people who work for fiscal court, for the chamber, for EDC, and especially the people who live in our community. Suffice it to say that we've had an extraordinarily good year, and all signs point to the same. And when I said extraordinarily, when I was practicing this, I never got it right. Wages are starting to rise. People are graduating from high school at a greater rate. And the number of baccalaureate degrees in our community is trending higher. I believe that all of these things are the results of the efforts of our education leaders, business leaders, and government. And all of them point to a better future for our community. But this morning, I want to get away from what we have done. And I want to talk to you about something that will affect you and your business, probably sooner than later. As a matter of fact, it's already affecting fiscal court as well as other governmental agencies. And that is a shrinking workforce in Daviess County. In 2006, Daviess County received over 100 applications for a job as an administrative assistant, paying pretty good wages. Many of the applicants were college graduates who claimed that they were making $6 to $7 an hour with no benefits. In 2010, more than 200 people applied. In 2011, with the unemployment rate of 9.9%, over 150 people applied for similar jobs paying $13.91. Last year, that same position only drew 31 applicants. At the same time, while trying to hire skilled mechanics or licensed CDL drivers, we might have 6 people apply, and out of the 6, only 1 or 2 would be qualified. So my question to you this morning is why? What's happening? On the face of it, you might say the reason is our low unemployment rate of 4.5%. Now that's up a little bit from the 3.9%, Mayor. We're doing great compared to everybody else. But my question is that really the reason? Now some of you, Kirk, Waitman, might say that it's the baby boomers all stampeding toward retirement. I don't know. Could it be something else? Regardless, there are fewer people in the workforce today, and for all the emphasis that we're placing on workforce development, it doesn't matter if you don't have people to train in the skills that we need. According to the St. Louis Federal Reserve in June 2009, there were a little over 49,000 people in the Daviess County workforce. And when I say Daviess County, I'm talking about city and county's workforce combined. In October of this year, there were a little over 44,000 people in our workforce. Now, our population continues to trend up, but the number of workers available and looking for work is trending down. Almost 5,000 fewer people in the workforce applying for jobs. Anybody know where they went? In roughly the same time frame, 1,000 plus people did reach age 65. You know, the question is, did they retire? I know a lot of them continue to work trying to make ends meet. I don't know, but I suspect that their loss would have been offset by young people graduating high school or college coming into the workforce. Where did all the people go? Did some of those folks who are no longer in the workforce become discouraged in seeking employment and drop out? Did people leave the county entirely looking for better opportunities for employment or higher wages? According to data from Census Flow Mappers from 2006 to 2010, we had a net gain of people moving into our county looking for work versus those moving out of about 1,000 people. Now, some of this data overlaps a little bit, but from 2009 to 2013, we had a net loss of people seeking employment of 600. The net difference was almost a 1,600 person swing. And the majority of them moved to Fayette, Jefferson, and Warren counties. This might explain the lack of trained and experienced people for technical jobs, but it still doesn't explain the reduced number of people in our community applying for entry-level positions. Partly, the lack of workers could be attributed to those who retire or the out-migration of people. Or I wonder, is it just that a large number of people have become discouraged and just simply decided to sit it out on the sidelines? I don't know, but whatever the reason, our available workforce, your available workforce is shrinking, and it's becoming more difficult to hire entry-level and skilled employees. If you agree with me, raise your hand. I guarantee you. And it's your business. Before we get into what we have done, the city has done, or what we can do, let me share the latest analysis of state and county level employment and wage data by Dr. Paul Coombs. He's the senior consulting economist for the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Sorry, this is boring. I may fall asleep. If I do, Candace, throw something at me. 1.85 million jobs are available in the Commonwealth, and 56% of those as of June 2015 were in Louisville and Lexington. And at the same time, they had 58% of the $19.7 billion in wages. Now that makes sense to me. Large population centers, high-tech jobs, manufacturing jobs. I mean, they pay money, so that's okay. 47% of the job growth occurred in Jefferson and Fayette County. Now the Golden Triangle, Northern, Jefferson, Fayette, and the Bowling Green, Hopkinsville area had the highest growth rates in total jobs since the end of the last recession, surpassing the national average. According to the latest data from the Census Bureau, in Kentucky, only Northern Kentucky and Louisville have a higher employment to population ratio than the U.S., and that's 58%. That means people who are seeking work are employed compared to the population. So let's go, there's a little trivia. Wake up, let's go back. How do we increase our civilian workforce, assuring a steady and well-trained flow of employees into your businesses? The obvious answer is to create more jobs, which make sure and make sure that they're good paying jobs, which in turn will attract more people. Now, Daviess County is working with the EDC by making grants and loans out of that economic development fund that we set up 5 years ago. To date, the county has invested $1 million in existing and new businesses, resulting in $93 million in investment in our community and the creation of 284 new jobs with an average wage of almost $18 an hour plus benefits. Let me repeat. Think about this. $1 million is what we invested. Working with EDC, we brought $93 billion, or $93 million. Mayor, you got those $1 billion are bugging me here in the brain. $93 million. Think of the return on that $1 million. And created almost 300 really great paying jobs. Daviess County will continue to make that fund available to incent businesses to expand or locate in Daviess County. Next thing we could do is to increase the training and education of our workforce so they are equipped for more, or for the available jobs so that they can earn more money. And we have continued to promote education as a way to lift oneself out of that cycle of poverty. Next year, you will see the results of the city and the county's investment in education when OCTC breaks ground on the new Advanced Technology Center. And as Commissioner George Wathen has said, we'll probably never know how important the new tech center will be and what impact it will have on many people in our community. But education and training are not enough, folks. We have to work even harder to make sure that there are jobs available for those folks here when they complete their training. Or what do you think they're going to do? Everybody say together, leave. Leave. Next, let's understand that a 4-year college degree is not necessarily the only path to a good job. College presidents, sorry, don't roll your eyes at me. I support higher education. But according to Walter Williams in the December 16, 2015 Kentucky Gazette, the U.S. Labor Department says the majority of jobs over the next decade will not require a college degree. More than a third of the currently working college graduates are in jobs that do not require a degree. Vocational training in the skilled trades and associate degrees from our colleges are important as well. Ask Commissioner Caslin about his son Daniel and how an associate degree from OCT has affected Daniel's life. Ask Commissioner Koger how important it is to maintain a stream of well-trained and qualified tradesmen. Now, this community gets it. Our educators get it. Our business professionals get it. We understand everything that I've talked about. But how do we come up with the numbers of people necessary to take advantage of what we have to offer here? What can we do to put more of those people who have left the workforce back into the workforce? I think most of you out there know that I've not always been politically correct. I've usually spoke exactly what's on my mind. And if I say it, I believe it wholeheartedly. So what I'm about to say may not be politically correct or have any merit. These next comments are on my own personal thoughts, and I place them on the table today to provoke each and every one of you into thinking outside of your comfort level. We have to invite more women, more immigrants, more minorities into the skilled trades. We have to quit thinking about jobs and pay based on gender and race. We have to start thinking about employees based on value and skills that they bring to the table. The mayor talked about needing your help in advocating in Frankfort. We need to be there every day. Somebody from this community needs to be there every day, pounding on the table and saying, do not forget Owensboro and Daviess County. We exist. Look at all the things that we have done on our own. We, and that means each and every one in this room, should be advocating for legislation which will allow a low-level nonviolent felony conviction to be removed from a person's record. Many folks do stupid things when they're young, and they pay for that stupidity. And they pay for that stupidity the rest of their life. And let me tell you, this was near and dear to my heart this morning on the front page of the Messenger, where a bill has been introduced to do just that. And what was even nicer was to hear that Governor Bevin, I'm not going to say he supports the bill as is, but Governor Bevin recognizes the problem that we had. The state chamber recognizes this as a problem. The state chamber recognizes that we have too few people in the workforce to take care of all the things, all the jobs the city's creating. this should be truly a bipartisan effort. This bill affects, think about it, folks, 100,000 people. 100,000 people. And we cannot invite 100,000 people back into our community after they have served their sentence and then ask them to stand on the sidelines and look in while we enjoy ourselves. We must give them the opportunity. We have to give them the opportunity to improve themselves and improve their families, lest they slip back into their old ways and end up in a prison system that frankly we cannot afford in the state, or the jail that frankly is taking more money out of your tax dollar that could be spent on roads and job creation. We have to do something, and I'm begging you, call each and every legislator from our community and tell them that you support this bill. Folks, there's a tremendous need for good low-cost child care. We're starting to see child care centers close because of increased state regulation and, quite frankly, increased cost. And they just can't make it anymore. I know we have one local church child care center that talked about and I think have already closed their doors. Many of those who have left the workforce are moms who had to quit a minimum wage job because by the time they paid for child care, there was nothing left in their check. And speaking of minimum wage, if what Dr. Coons told us is correct about Lexington and Louisville, when they fully implement their minimum wage of $10.10 an hour, how long will it be before our people working for $7.25 an hour get up and leave for greener pastures, just exacerbating the problem of no employees? We need to either advocate for the legislature to level the playing field with a statewide increase in the minimum wage, or join Louisville and Lexington and do it ourselves. And I'm telling you, I know this is a chamber, and there are many who will say we can't raise that wage. We have to do something to attract more people into our community. And I think Lexington and Louisville probably looked at it because they're having those same problems and said, easiest way to do it. So while workforce development is on everyone's mind and is the new buzz phrase, the number of those available to work in our community is shrinking. And I believe that it's the number of those folks that are available to be trained that's key to our success going forward. No one out here is going to disagree that having an available, well-trained workforce gives the community an advantage when it comes to attracting and expanding jobs. But you have to have somebody to train, folks. Where will they come from? Pope Francis declared 2016 as a Jubilee year of mercy. And Mayor tonight, the county will proclaim this a year of the child throughout our county. The Jubilee year of mercy asks that we contemplate forgiveness, but it also asks that we contemplate justice. Perhaps we in Daviess County should declare this the year of the poor, the uneducated, the migrant, the unskilled, the year of those who have left the workforce, and redouble our efforts to invite them to participate fully in the workforce and in our society. You know, this may sound trite, but those folks need to know that we as a community care. They need to know what's available to them here in our community, and many of them don't. They need to know what's available in the way of education and training. And I can tell you, by showing them that we care, we then do something for ourselves. We then assure ourselves that we can pass the torch of respect for our fellow man and the dignity, and I repeat, the dignity to generations. thank you for being patient this morning. I know your butts hurt. Have a happy New Year.